Hello there. Welcome to Metrosix. It's the capital of Delaire. But more importantly for our story, it's a dangerous place. Each of the king's successors in the last 14 years have died trying to sit on that blasted adamantine throne. It's not just dangerous for the high lords and ladies, though. Without a strong leader, the presence of the city's watch is barely felt and rarely respected. A few areas have found some semblance of stability under a powerful high lord or lady. But there's nothing like that for the Styx. Metrosix, 6th District.
Welcome back to Toss the Dice. When last we left our party, they were escaping with a large sum of vehicles to a safe house within the sewers, like some turtles of the pre-adult variety, where they will stash their vehicles. This is actually a sewer that Elektra and Aurelius would know well from their past, but now have repurposed it as a safe house. Now, as you pull in the remind me.
Also, don't forget, we killed somebody.
Who did it?
So, remind me, did you guys decide you wanted to keep this a secret from all the thugs and from the Thieves Guild? In other words, that you would have the thieves drop them off at a drop-off point, and then you take them the rest of the way, bit by bit?
I thought we decided that we trusted the thieves, but we didn't trust the thugs.
That's right. Okay. So the thieves escort your vehicles. It has to be done in 3 waves, but you're able to get them all underground, and that is resolved. As you get the last of the vehicles in, Bastion says, "Did what happened in there? I heard a lot of shooting before we got out of there."
Well, what happened in there was what needed to happen in there. Had to cause a distraction, right?
I suppose. Did Ptolemy give you much trouble?
No. And thanks all to Elektra here. And he pats her on the back.
You're darn right.
Well, watch out for that one. She'll probably hit you back hard.
Yes, she will, and she smacks him real hard on the back.
he lunges forward.
Goes flying.
Yeah. He definitely like tries to maintain his composure, but has to take a step because of the force of the pat on the back. But as he does, he's like, smells like home.
Well, I guess if you look at it a certain way. But in any case, I think I'll be heading back to the palace. But like I said, just because I wasn't willing to do this job totally for free, at least for my boys, I wanted to thank you again. The Red Gears are a huge blight on this district, and so cleaning it up is a big deal.
Well, we want the same thing you do. And he actually pulls out the signet ring from a chain under his shirt. and he shows it to Bastion, and he says, if it needs any more clarification, you can ask, what was his name? I'm thinking Suntis, but it wasn't Suntis. Quintus.
No,
Was it?
Quintus, yeah.
Okay. You can ask Quintus about it. He actually hands it to Bastion Black.
He immediately pushes it back into your palm and cups it, and he says, "Careful where you show that. Now, if you're serious at pursuing this, you know, if this isn't just some claims of forgery, we can get proof. But I need to know that you're going to ride this out to the end."
Well, here's my question. So we already have figured out that Aurelius has spent time abroad and has just recently come home, right?
That's correct.
Okay, just wanted to clarify. He quickly says back to Bastion Black, I wouldn't have come home if I didn't intend on fixing the city.
He says, "Good." And he reaches for your hand, and it initially looks like a handshake. But as he makes contact, you realize that it pricked you. And he has taken a bit of your blood. And he says, "Honestly, I hope you know that this is a lot, but I can tell that that ring, just by looking at it, it's legit. That said, it did go missing that night. So we're not going to let you just pick up a signet ring and you know, claim to be..."
Yeah. Well, he doesn't take any offense to this. He says, yeah, do your due diligence. And let me know what you find out.
This is this could be big. Now, by coming out with this, you're going to put a big target on your back. I hope you keep your friends near.
And he looks over at Elektra and, you know, gives her one of those sly winks that he used to give her back in the day when they were ruffians stealing from the market.
She's gonna roll her eyes at him, but it's a fond eye roll. You know she's in it on it, but you know, she's not gonna not make fun of you either.
Exactly. And he just says, oh, we will.
Good. I hope this is the start of a lot more. And he leaves in a hurry. Now, I will say you have been abroad, and so if you didn't trust him, this would be quite a nerve-wracking prospect. With a bit of your blood, there is some powerful magics that he could potentially use that for. However, none would be worth it, especially here in the in Delera, where magic is a lot more rare.
Well, I was about to say, I don't really have any power yet. So for him to, you know, if he were to turn right around and do that, this would be the stupidest time to do so.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, it would kind of be a huge waste because, like, you know, he should just shank you if he really wants to do you harm with your blood. But in any case, it'll be sufficient for what is essentially a DNA test. He'll have to outsource it, and it likely will be expensive. but reasonably so. He's going to take every single precaution at their disposal. If this world didn't have some form of DNA test available, he probably would have just taken you at your word with the signet ring. Maybe with a bit of questioning.
Well, I'm glad that he's doing it that way, so I don't have to talk with him or talk to him through Braz, because I want to keep that card pretty close to the chest. So,
Okay. Solid. Then, okay. Then the four of you are left alone in the lair. And, as the last of the thieves leave, the last of the thieves to leave is Quintus, who takes a long look, and he gives you a nod, and you're not quite sure what that means, but there was clearly some kind of meaning behind it, but he's gone now, and the four of you are left alone.
With that in mind, I take off the mask and I'm like, oh, I can't believe we just done that. We actually did it.
It was kind of
that was crazy.
Got pretty hairy in there.
Haven puts his hands over his head, and he's just like the clarity comes in, and he's like, we did it. This is amazing. If we're going to make so much, this is great. And he's just kind of reveling in the achievements. And so,
yeah, Piper kind of walks up beside him and gives him a pat on the shoulder and kind of tilts her mask up. Well, that was enough adrenaline to last me for months. And she kind of pops her back a little bit.
Well, unfortunately, I have a feeling we're probably going to be getting a lot more adrenaline in the next few months. We're not going to be getting a break, I don't think.
Well, I mean, kind of will. I have to work on the vehicles before they can go out. So, I mean, I'm sure we'll be doing some other, maybe smaller things, but nothing quite that big. So I'll be in the layer, I suppose, working on those vehicles.
well,
Yeah.
Don't worry. It's not going to be the last job we do, obviously. But you guys deserve a break. You guys have done so much. But we do have some things to discuss before I let you guys, just go about what you're going to do. Although I am excited to see how you each celebrate. We got to talk about me shooting Ptolemy.
Yeah.
So I know that we weren't all agreed on how to pursue once we had Ptolemy in our custody. And this is, I consider this a failure on my part. I feel like if maybe I had voiced my motives better or told you guys my plans, we wouldn't have had such a split decision in that moment. So as as the leader, I have to apologize.
Oh, don't worry about it. I mean, it was a very tense situation, and we had very limited time. So I really don't blame you. We did the best we could with the time we had. And, it was kind of a big decision. So don't worry about it. I don't blame you for it.
Yeah, not to mention, I stand by my decision, no matter what. I don't care what you say, Mr. Planet Guy. I still think it's better to shoot her than to keep her hostage. We could argue about it back and forth all night. I don't need to hear what you have to say, but just for the record.
I'm not going to fight you on that. We may disagree, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that we got to act as a cohesive unit, and I feel like I should let you guys in on more of the plans moving forward.
Agreed. What I've been saying this whole time.
I put my hand over Piper's shoulder, kind of like in a relaxed way, and just like, yeah, there's a lot that I don't quite know yet, about you especially, but moving forward, that sounds like a good idea.
Well, for now, I think we've all deserve a well-earned break. So,
Yes.
with that, we'll
Although
get to it.
break, quote unquote, Haven has work early in the morning. His regular 14-hour shift at the factory. So
Factory kid.
Hey,
so
that'll be it.
You're a child laborer.
That's so bad.
well, actually,
Bullies a kid for being forced into child labor. Yes, achievement unlocked.
wait,
Terrible
I
person.
wasn't speaking in character voice.
Hey,
That
Haven's-
wasn't Elektra.
Haven's 17, right? Or was he 18? 18. Okay, so
Yeah.
barely an adult, but definitely has been working in the factory for a few years now. So, okay.
Yeah.
Wanted to check that real quick. So, okay, then you guys have 2 weeks to do whatever you want / plan your next move. So, what do you got in store for us for this for these couple of weeks? And then, of course, in Haven's case, what do you have planned for your weekend?
Well,
Actually, sorry, I just wanted to ask a question in regards to the factory. So let's say, for example, that I wanted to like just take some raw materials with me to craft. Would that also be like high stakes? Like it was for his arm?
Take it from the factory?
And like just like in bits, like very small bits and pieces, and just start like.
Yes, they keep very meticulous inventory to make sure that nothing gets leaked to the Innovators Guild, right? Because if even taking out like small pieces, if their designs get back to the Innovators Guild, then they can't. They don't have a technological edge. So.
Right. So not even like raw materials such as like ores would be available to me to just.
Correct. Yeah, the raw materials, those as well would be high dollar purchases for them, either bought off the black market or occasionally bought from the miners directly. A lot of it would be like adamantine or just valuable ores to make their craft.
or valuable ores.
Good jokes, man.
Okay, so moving on.
Moving on from this stupid laughing.
All right. So who's next then? What? I guess Piper, you know what you're doing this week.
I know what I'll be doing for a while. So she's got a lot of vehicles. She's got to kind of rewire a little bit to make them rewire and kind of reconstruct some certain areas to accommodate large numbers of people and to accommodate the need for passenger comfort.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like comfortable seats and convenient seating. Efficiently, place seating to get as many people in there as possible. There might be a double-decker bus in there or a bus vehicle, somewhere in there.
Now, one of the issues here is going to be supplies. Now, you guys did deal a blow to the Red Gears, but you didn't take over their territory, which means you don't have access to the junkyard, which would be essentially free basic supplies.
I stole from the old man.
That was sufficient to change the look on the first vehicle you stole, but to actually build out wagon cars, you're gonna need like 20 gold a piece for the vehicles. That's to build them, not to purchase them would be much more expensive.
Are there any other junkyards in the aside from the Red Gears? I mean, there's got to be more than one. The sticks are pretty big, and there's a lot of junk.
The answer is kind of. The Red Gears specifically have collected it. So it was a junkyard that was just abandoned for a long, long time until they repurposed it. And then after they did, they kind of kept a monopoly on it. They clean up, they gather things. However, that does not extend to heavy brass territory. That said, the heavy brass does have control of those junkyards. You would have to make a deal with them, and because of how poor they are, like as an organization, they would probably want you to buy it from them. So it would be the same result. It would just be purchasing the material from that specific source.
I have a proposition.
Okay, I'm listening.
So, what if? Hear me out. What if we? What if we outside of our like mask facades or specters facade get up, wanting to do good in the community, get a good name for Aurelius and all, volunteer to demolish
for Aurelius.
Woo woo. We're a volunteering group that volunteers to demolish and clean up areas of town. And we're like, oh yes, we're cleaning up the dilapidating parts of town and cleaning up the sticks a little bit. We're taking the junk and we're gonna use it.
Okay. Now I would usually require that you go to that you get like permits for this, right? Like if you want to make it official and have a good name for Aurelius, you would need permitting. The thing is that that's kind of a mess in the sticks. However, you are a smuggler, which means you have the ability to acquire the necessary permits at will. So we are going to forego that and say yes, as a result of your subclass, this is possible.
Oh, yeah, baby, yeah.
Groovy, baby.
Groovy, baby.
Okay. Then there is in fact a city hall, so to speak, in the district. I mean, it takes care of district specific matters, but it functions very much like a city hall. And as you go in to get the permits, the old man who works there seems kind of surprised to see anybody come in, and he like sits up off of his desk chair, and like dust flies off him. Yeah, he swiping at the cobwebs from the ledger on the desk, and he says, and a puff of smoke comes out, and says, "Welcome to the Magister's office. How can I help you?"
And to really sell it, she uses her disguise to like wear like a clean getup. She didn't actually take a shower that morning. She still got grease on her face. She just used the disguise to like landlord paint over it kind of thing.
Perfect.
She's like, I gotta sell it. I gotta look the part. So she's like in this like really clean, nice, professional getup.
Mm-hmm.
So he just asked what I was there for.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're not busy, I'm looking to get some permits. Got a little organization that we got some good doing plans for. We like to volunteer to clean up some of the dilapidated parts of town. Break down some of the older buildings that are hazardous areas for the people. or unstable buildings. You got plenty of those around here. It's been quite problematic. Leaving messes falling apart. All the gun shooting outs and stuff. Buildings integrity is gradually declining. So I'm here on behalf of my my boss. Am I supposed to use his real name as like to get like his good name out there sort of deal?
Yeah,
The
you
plan?
unless if Aaron feels
Otherwise,
then yeah, that would be totally fine.
No, this is this. Just make sure to.
you're
Sure,
cutting
are
out a
we?
little bit.
Oh, sorry. I'm totally okay with.
Okay. Didn't catch all of that, but I did hear
I heard
totally
totally
okay,
okay.
so
So,
we
good
proceed.
enough.
He says, "Yes, of course. Let me check the codes." And he picks up there's like a little tube of like that looks like it's meant to hold like pens, pencils, that kind of thing. But you notice that there's several darts nestled in that, and he picks up a dart. He says, "Let me check the book of codes," and he throws a dart across the room and bullseyes the book of codes. And he says, "Looks fine to me. Are you already registered then, or do you need to register today? If you need to register, that'd be 10 gold. And you do have the paperwork to be registered."
Perfect. This probably isn't her first time.
Correct. But yeah, these are the formalities that you must go through. The very official office here in the sticks that you have to go
Okay.
through to get this legitimized.
Okay, so she brings out the paperwork, and she straightens it out, trying to look very like proper and precise in her manner.
He sees the seal you have on it, and noticing the gray dove, he immediately stamps the permit, and he gathers up your papers and he hands the stack back to you, and you are cleared to do this. Now, much of the sticks is lawless, so there's only so many people that this will go anywhere with. But that said, it is technically official. This is, well, it's not really respected. This is actually like the magistrate's office. So like this is official. Whether or not it's respected is a different story. If you want to get it to go farther, right? I will say that the heavy brass hold more sway than the government, especially in the district that they control. If you wanted to go the extra mile and get it approved with them as well, then you would be much more respected with them behind you. But it's not necessary.
Personally, wouldn't want to legitimize them though.
Well, if I remember correctly, you do intend to legitimize them by giving them a role in the balancing act in the government.
Well, and also, it's not like we're asking them to do anything. We're asking anything from them. We're just getting their approval to clean up their area, like their territory.
Correct. So
Fair
it just means it'll gain you more respect, but you have the documents necessary to forge all over the place. It probably won't even cost you anything. It'll just be another little incursion meeting with an official from the heavy brass.
Yeah, as long as Aurelius is fine with it, Piper's down.
Yeah, I would love to get it legitimized by the heavy brass. In quotations, legitimized.
Okay. Then as you go into the town hall, it's the the heavy brass have their center of power in the old town, harkening back to their roots before this was a great city. And the heavy brass, the guard lets you in, and as the mayor, they call him, he deals with the official documents and things. As you go in to see him, he says, are you going into disguise, actually? Or is this...
I think she'll still like go in looking cleaned up, so it's kind of, she looks fairly different because she looks a lot more put together. And so
Okay.
if he saw her often, then he'd be like, you know, like kind of like he'd be able to, you know, pick me out, but I do look cleaned up. So technically,
Okay.
if he looked at me long enough and thought hard enough and asked enough people like where they've seen me before, he could put it together. So I'm not trying to hide who I am. I'm just cleaned up a little.
And you're clearly a tiefling right now, right?
Yes.
Or are you covering that up too? If I remember correctly, you have like it's your face, but you make yourself look human sometimes. Is that correct?
So, according to what she knows about the heavy brass and just the people in the sticks in general, would it offer her any benefit to conceal her race?
Potentially. Not a major, like, not,
It's like just
not in the
edge,
day to
just a
day.
little edge.
It's just that you're recognizable is the thing. It would be like having a scar on your face. It doesn't change
it's
how they treat you,
distinguishable.
but it's distinguishable, where it can be like,
Okay.
oh yeah, the guy with the scar, you know?
Yeah, in that case, I think I'll just look the same, but I'll just, you know, skin color, normal ears, horns are gone, tail's gone, sort of. But I still have
Okay.
like the same facial trait.
Then I take back what I was about to say. He does not recognize you at all. And he says, this place looks slightly more used, but
Not
from
quite
what you
so
saw,
dusty.
yeah, but mostly by the heavy brass. So,
Yeah.
but as you come in, he says, you've come to file some paperwork.
As a matter of fact, yes. I just got back with the do I just say the magistrate? Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
I just got the necessary paperwork done with the magistrate. I just wanted to run it by you because part of what we'd like to do for the city is in your territory, so we wanted to respect that, you know, it runs in your circles. I'm here on behalf of Aurelius Acule. We are looking to do some volunteer work, cleaning up the sticks a little bit. We've noticed just around town and around many parts of the district that there are dilapidated buildings, and their structural integrity is very much declining, and we'd like to demolish the ones that are potentially dangerous, and then break it down and clear it out, just making the city look a little nicer and a little less hazardous for bystanders.
Well, good that you came here. The magistrates, they're just pawns of the nobles. So, it's good that you come here to get some legitimate power from the people.
Yeah, just want to make sure I'm covering all the bases, just because it's for a good cause, so we want to make sure that on all levels it's you know, clean.
Yeah, no,
And-
I get it. You don't want any of those nasty nobles meddling in your affairs. You gotta jump through the hoops.
Whoa, backpedal, backpedal, backpedal.
But
she
yeah,
doesn't
I
comment.
this sounds. I get that you're trying to do a service for the area, and I see here that your paperwork is in order, and I just would like to commend you for taking the initiative. However, if you want to take the initiative a little bit farther, you should join up with us, the heavy brass. We're gonna clean this place up, and we're gonna do it right.
I I'm just a messenger. That's not really up to me. But I think it's great for anybody who's on that same page. It's a admirable thought to have to
And for
make
other people.
people. I mean, that's why I'm here.
Well, see that you don't make too much of a mess. And,
Oh, quite the contrary.
I get it. Yes, cleaning up the city and all. I mean, make sure you target only the unused buildings. Now, I will suggest that you avoid certain areas of the territory that would destabilize some of our more militaristic operations.
Oh, of course. Would you mind marking those just so that I am thorough in avoiding them? She brings out a map just to tell her which areas are okay.
Certainly.
I would not want to step on your toes.
He takes your map and he circles several areas. It seems like you probably could have circled farther, but he was he sectioned out very obvious and vague sections. Clearly he's attempting to hide where their military bases would be, by staying very clear of them. And so the sections he carves out are kind of small. They'll suit your needs, but he was also being vague.
He's being a little stingy because he wants to be secretive.
Correct. That said, he says anything out of this region, you're welcome to, but be careful in these areas. And he points to just a section of the district that is owned by the heavy brass. That part of it's pretty obvious, but he is talking to you like you don't know anything at all. Which, as far as he knows, could be true, but it seems like he might, even if he thought you were, it seems like he might condescend you if you were coming in with a higher standard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you tried to appear more, he would still talk down to you just the same.
That's just him.
But he also says, but so you know, this section here, and he points to the palace, the Thieves Guild territory. He says, you can demolish everything over there. We don't need that place.
Oh,
But he gives you the stamp, and he sends you off with your permits. And he says, you're doing good work out there. And he sits down at the desk and begins to fill out more paperwork, and he's ignoring you at this point. Like, you're not sure if you leave, if he'll notice. He might think you've already left.
Yeah, she's like, as soon as he signed his little stamp and whatever, she's like, bye. She's on the same level. She's like, she's like, she just, like, after his comment, she nods and she leaves. She's not there for idle chatter.
Perfect. Aaron?
Yes, sir.
For your week?
Okay, for my week, it's funny because it's going to be about the same thing as Piper. Right now, I'm going to be working on starting up charitable acts and building up the Accolade name in the sticks.
Okay. So are you just single-handedly getting out there and like mowing people's lawns kind of thing? Or is this a more coordinated effort that you're shooting for?
Well, first off, I am I'm definitely rubbing shoulders with the people. Just going around doing the good deeds that I can.
Okay.
And then not being not being shy about sharing my name. But on the low, I'm going to be talking to Elle about that charitable fund that the nobles set up.
Yes, High Lord Talvis has been cleaning up the sticks, according to the papers.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and be drawing up a opposing charitable fund. Not one that's it's going to be the same initiative. However, people are going to see the fruits of this initiative more.
Okay.
Is the idea.
Solid. And you said you wanted to see Elle about this?
I do. I want to see Elle about about their charitable donation. However, the charitable donation that we're doing about cleaning up the sticks is in coordination with Piper.
Okay. Did Elektra want to go with him to see Elle before work, or?
Yes. Yeah, I'll go with him before work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I will get to that in just a second. Let me jump to Haven. Now, as you head back to the factory, it is a dreary and drastic contrast from yesterday. Yesterday, you felt free. Yesterday, you made way more money than you'd make this whole month. And you didn't have anybody looking over your shoulder to micromanaging you. But now you're back to the factory, and as you check in the managers, you know that their official job title is management, that they're also hardened enforcers. And as you check in, your manager says, "Good to see you. Hey, watch it today, though. The boss is in quite a tizzy over that missing hand. We haven't quite found him yet, so be on your best behavior, all right?"
Kind of just, I nod, but I ask, any leads?
Yeah, we think we've got a few, but boss wants to keep it pretty close to the chest. I tell you as a personal favor to you to just keep your head low.
Well, I act as if I don't know anything, just kind of scratch my head a little bit. All right. Act like I don't care, and then I just move forward.
So as you get to work, you head in, and it looks like there is some serious progress to what's been working on, to what Reynald has been working on. Now, last time you were in the factory, as far as you could tell, what you were working on, these are like prosthetics. However, you can see that there are other parts of the plans, and now you can see that there is a whole chest piece to these designs. Now, you're in for a hard day of labor, because Reynald specifically, the reason why the Adamantine Soul Sorcerers are so important is because these designs are powered with a lot of magic. So as you work, you're not just working with your hands. It's going to be consuming all of your spell slots. It leaves you exhausted at the end of the day. However, over the course of your career doing this, you've noticed that as your sorcery abilities have been stretched to their limits, that recently you've been manifesting a new ability. that you seem to be able to reach out and grab things magnetically.
Yeah,
You took the telekinetic feat when you leveled up, yeah?
I did.
Perfect.
A lot of fun.
So yeah, the as you stretched your powers to their limit, they have in fact increased. As you get to work, you're in the more of the fine-tuned parts of the factory, right? So you work on a lot of the technical gear. It's more tedious. You're not out on the line making the bigger parts, right? You're not hammering out big chest pieces. You're working on the little intricate pieces. And so you're in a room with about 5 other sorcerers. But oddly enough, Reynald walks in. Now, you've seen him before. But as he steps in the room, he looks like a nerd. Like, like just imagine the stereotype. But on the other hand, he
Like the 80s stereotype or like a current
yes,
stereotype?
think more like the 80s stereotype than the current stereotype. Just like you're I'm going for the Hollywood nerd here, okay?
Gotcha.
And he walks in the room and he steps on the table and he walks to the center of the table and he says, "Now, someone has caused one of these things to go missing, and I want to know if you've heard anything." And he pulls out a hand and he says, "Do you all recognize this?"
I look to the rest of the group. What are they motioning?
A lot of them are hesitating to speak, but one of the other sorcerers says, "It's a automaton hand, sir." Precisely. And we keep very good track of these pieces. See, they're very important. What you do is a great service to this country and to this people. And one of these has gone missing. And no one has confessed yet. Now, I'm not saying it was any of you, but I want to know if it was. And he looks at each of you as he says that. Go ahead and, well, no. Are you going to say anything, or are you going to stay silent?
I kind of, at this point, I'm more or less just like, can I assume correctly that I'm a little tired from last night's excursion?
Oh, absolutely. You're exhausted. I won't give you exhaustion, but like,
I'm wiped. I'm wiped.
Yeah.
I kind of keep up with the role, and I'm just like, ugh. Like I act dumb by just acting tired. And at that point, like that's kind of like what my body language is showing, is that it's like,
he steps to the edge of the table and squats down. Now he's wearing like full blown wizard robes, which, as you know, looks kind of like like they're colored in the traditional colors of wizardry, which would be like, it's got some blue, some stars on the cap. But essentially it looks like a sleeping gown and cap. And so as he steps to the edge of the table, he squats down, and he's still got the automaton hand in his own hand, and he flops it over, and the hand flops open, and he caresses your cheek with it, and he says, "Now you're a good worker. I trust that you'll tell me if you see anything." And he pats you on the cheek with the automaton hand and sets it on the table and walks out of the room. And you hear as he enters like the line floor, he calls out to two of the managers and he says, "Beat that man!" And you can hear someone being beaten on the other side of the wall. And you can see Reynald just finish walking down the hall. It's unclear why he wanted that, but he probably had a reason.
Do I happen to know any of these Adamantine Soul Sorcerers?
Oh, yeah. You work with these guys all the time. You don't know all of their names. There's a lot of people who come to the factory, and they just don't talk to the people next to them. They just keep their head down. They, look at their desk. They work. They leave.
Who do I recognize?
There's no relationship. It's all just dead inside.
You recognize Sheikah and Kay. Sheikah is a girl name, and Kay is a guy's name.
I just look over to him while I'm working. I still act like, at this point, I'm still keeping up the act, so I just yawn. What is his problem? What's going on? Things have been getting restless lately.
Sheikah's pretty outspoken. And a lot of people would say she takes too many risks. But she says some hand went missing or something. And she leans in close to you and says, "If you ask me, I think they just miscounted."
He's beating everybody up because of it? Sounds like Reynald.
It wouldn't be the first time.
What's with him? Like, how did he ever come up with the crank hammers anyway? How do they know the guy?
Kay looks nervously around the room and he says, "That's I don't know if I would talk about that." But Sheikah says, "Forget about Kay." And she says, "Don't you know the story? The way I heard it, he got denied as a court wizard to that Susie chick over in Indera."
Susie chick. Sounds like a terrible love story. But a failed court wizard. And he's here?
That's right, she's some kind of queen over there. I hear that over in that place, people don't die for sitting on the throne there. Although, the last queen did go mysteriously missing.
So, then why do you think he's here?
Cheap labor. Why would anyone else be here?
That's fair. And then I kind of just continue with what I'm doing.
Kay says, "Well, all I know is he's in a real tizzy, and so you best play it safe, okay?"
All right. I just roll my eyes.
At the end of the week, you get your wages, which is 2 silvers.